Hi everyone, good afternoon. Thank you once again for joining us in this webinar. Today is the 14th webinar of the Malaysian Water Association and Malaysia International Water Convention webinar series. And we have our guest speaker today, Encik Ishak B. Hasnan, Chairman of the Malaysian Water Engineers Action Committee, or MIWAC for short. Encik Ishak is also the Customer Service Engineer of Perak Water Board. And he will be speaking on the unique challenges and experience of water operators during MCO. So if you have any questions later, you can key them in at the Q&A icon below. So we're going to start. So now I would like to invite Engineer Abdul Kadir bin Muhammad Din, President of the Malaysian Water Association, to say a few words before we kick off the presentation. Dato'.
Hello Denise, thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullah. Thank you to all for attending this webinar. And ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon again and welcome to today's MDA organized webinar series. This is the 14th series that we have in a row every week. And today's webinar presentation will give another interesting topic to interact with the very people who supplies us the safe drinking water and discuss what are the challenges they face, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic lockdown. The topic for today, as you all know, unique challenges and experience of water operators during COVID-19 MCO, and will be presented by the Chairman of National Water Engineers Action Committee, in short, MIWAC, formerly known as JTJD, and these are the committees that what they call involve direct with the water operators for the whole nation. And given the importance of water for public health, over the 4 months of the full and partial lockdown caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, we are very thankful to all the water companies in the states, and in particular, the water district engineers, as represented by Encik Ishak today, for doing everything they can to maintain the water supply and protect customers. We are confident that the water industry will continue to provide clean, safe, reliable drinking water for everyone. A pandemic could cause serious disruptions to the operations and critical infrastructure, including drinking water systems. This disruption could be caused by staffing shortages, power disruptions, and shortages of chemicals and other supplies. Ensuring continuity of operations for drinking water system is crucial to protect public health and safety and to the economy of all communities. Today, I think it's appropriate for us to take a moment to appreciate that even in the worst moments of the current pandemic in our country, clean tap water has continued to flow. This we can attribute to the water companies that have reacted quickly in the first days of the lockdown and have prioritized the 3 basic parameters of quality, continuity, and affordability as a central part of their management. And since water supply is an essential necessity for the entire population, water utilities had faced a myriad of challenges arising from the recent pandemic situation, from operational, deferment of capex works, staffing, supply chains, and financials. Let us just take a look at some main challenges that they face to give us a better understanding on how they are coping to the pandemic, which is still ongoing, and the impact on water utilities will go on for some more months to come. The challenges are summarized as follows. 1, with a few exceptions, the outbreak of COVID-19 is projected to slow down investment in the water sector nationwide. At the same time, it has also increased the importance of operational reliability due to the cost of disruption. These operational needs are derived from shifts in demand patterns, supply disruptions, and various emergency measures employed by governments to cope with the pandemic. Second, many large users of water have downscaled or reduced activities, resulting in declining industrial demand. A decline in demand from large industrial and commercial users due to the lockdowns and travel restrictions was significantly reduce the revenues to the water utilities. Deeper revenue loss is projected across the whole water supply chain, including operators, technology companies, contractors, chemical suppliers, and consultants. Third, the water utilities have announced crisis emergency measures that will affect revenues. As announced, the partial suspension of water billing for low-income users and moratorium on water service cut-offs have been the most common responses to the crisis. Specific measures adopted including a deferment or on exemptions from utility bills payment for vulnerable groups, moratoriums on cutting of the water supply that is justified by the importance of hygiene in reducing the spread of the virus, and suspension of meter reading and invoicing. Amounts accumulated during this time will be repaid in equal installments without penalties or interest during the subsequent months. These measures have led to revenue losses for the utilities. Fourth, capital expenditures will decline in the short to medium term. New capital projects are likely to be delayed as utilities prioritize OPEX and emergency response. CapEx in the water sector will decline during 2020 this year and 2021 period, after which it may resume at pre-crisis forecast level. It is currently unclear by how much the water and sewage CapEx will decline and how long it will take to return to pre-crisis investments. However, from the COVID-19 pandemic going forward, we can draw some useful lessons as follows. One, COVID-19 has reinforced the importance of access to safe and reliable water. Capital projects may be delayed, but we hope that there is an economic stimulus that could mitigate the impact of declining revenues to fund CapEx. Stakeholders should seek to reprioritize the water sector after decades of underinvestment and lack of political prioritization of water. Second, lasting lessons on crisis preparedness and resiliency of staff, systems, and equipment could lead to the increased investment in digital solutions. The pandemic may help to boost the application of automation and remote control processes as they become ever more crucial at times like this. There should be a foreseeable growth in digital solutions for the water sector towards IR Water 4.0. Automated customer interfaces today may allow for a change in culture going forward. COVID-19 social distancing measures will push companies and customers to avoid contact in physical utility services centers and prioritize the use of other channels of engagement. More customer utility interactions may be conducted via phones, apps, or the internet, which are often already available. We take heart that all water systems operated by our water district engineers already have continuity plans in place as part of their best management practices. Malaysians can continue to use and drink water from the distribution pipes as usual. Coronavirus, which causes COVID-19, is a type of virus that is particularly susceptible to disinfection, and standard treatment and disinfectant processes in our water treatment plants are expected to be effective. Finally, a big thank to our presenter, Encik Ishak Hasnan, for taking time off to share with us today the interesting topic, and also to our webinar host, Protem Group. I wish all of us to have a successful and fruitful webinar. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dato'. So now, before we start the presentation, I would firstly like to let our attendees know that halfway through the presentation, we'll do a short survey. So we'd like you all to just answer 3 short questions. And before I call upon Encik Ishak, can we just play a video? We'd like to share this video with everyone, a video on my web.
Yes, okay.
Okay. So let's start.
Yes.
Okay, yep.
Okay, the world has been hit by the COVID-19 pandemic since end of 2019. So, and then Malaysia also got affected by this dangerous outbreak. Then Malaysia started implementing MCO on the 18th of March 2020 until now. Then the people urged us to stay at home. Okay, next. Next slide, please. Okay. So during the MCO, as we know that all industries, commercials, premises, and some government office were closed, and some economic sector are still not fully operated until now. And the water supply also been affected from raw water, treatment plant, distribution system, user tap, technically, management and financial aspect involved directly. Next. Okay, during the MCO, all the many factories were closed. So influent removal from the sea reduced, then river pollution reduced, and rubbish disposal also reduced from the public, and we can see that water quality improved as well. Okay, next. Okay, this improvement that influence from factory and human activity has significantly affected the quality, the river water quality. So, but at the same time, some of the water operator with the help of other government agency like SPAN, DOE, and other agency also implemented river surveillance to make sure that there's no intent to pollute the river. Next. Then we goes to water treatment plant. Water treatment plant run as usual. In any emergency situation, clean water should be continuously supplied to the consumer. So all water treatment plant run as usual without any changes in operation. Sufficient chemical stock was provided stored in the treatment plant. This is normal practice in any treatment plant. We always keep chemical stock at least for 1 month for chlorine and 3 months for other chemical. Next. Delivery of new stock faced slightly problem due to the cross-border prohibition and roadblock, and some water operator increase the chlorine dosage. This to make sure that they can get correct residual crossing at the end point of the pipe. Next. Okay, maintenance of M&E equipment run as usual. And normally treatment plant equipped with a minimum 50% standby of pump set. Preventive maintenance as scheduled and corrective maintenance being done as usual, whether by water operator own staff or by contractor. Some water operator staff are well trained to do maintenance and repairing job. So they do not depend fully on the contractor. And contractor and border movement quite disturbed due to the provision of cross-border and roadblock. So they have to show the instruction letter from water operator to the police to enable them to pass the roadblock. Okay, next. Okay, maintenance of distribution pipe. Repairing of pipe burst also run as usual. The broken pipe must be repaired immediately to avoid interruption of water supply to consumer. The repair team with water operator transport easier to cross the police roadblock, but sometimes they were trapped in the traffic jam due to the roadblock. Then adequate fitting, stock, and part of pipe were provided. Normally, water operator will keep stock at least 3 month requirement, so there was no problem on the pipe fit and fitting for maintenance works. But the number of pipe burst and leak complaint decreased between 20 to 50%. In normal day, water operator receive many pipe burst complaint from the user, but since most of the users stay at home, water operator receive less complaint. But it doesn't mean that there was no pipe burst. Maybe there was a pipe burst, but no complaint received. Proven that most of the user follow the instruction to stay at home. The next. The number of low pressure also decreased by 20% in some state. This is because commercial user didn't use water, so our reservoir always full, so that pressure in the pipe always high. And some water operator facing limited stock or permit supply for the road installment. Normally, after we repair the pipe burst, we will reinstate the damaged road with permit. But during the first stage of MCO, the permit supply didn't operate, so we have to use instant permit for temporary. Okay, next. For the construction part, for the construction works, all pipeline and other construction work stopped immediately, and then a contractor allowed to apply extension time of or EOT. Then the contractor have to schedule the works. Okay, next. Okay, now we come to the interesting point. During the MCO, water consumption, we found that the water consumption for residential area increased between 7 to 15%. Then from our record shown that minimum net flow or MNF and total daily flow TDF for residential area increased as well. So again, proving that most of users stay at home. Okay, next. Water consumption for industry and business activity decreased by 10 to 30%. This is because many factories were closed down, proving that business premises and industry was not operating during MCO. Water theft incident was still happen but not significant. There was less complaint about water theft from the public. Maybe there was a water theft but no complaint received. But because most of the user will stay at home. But there was a case where consumer who have water supply disconnected make his own connection without a meter. Okay, next. Okay, maintenance of the MZ, our district meter zone for NRW monitoring. Some water operators stop carrying out the MZ maintenance. Normally, they are doing detection and repairing work at night, but maybe they can't get a permission from the police. Then schedule maintenance should be done accordingly to ensure that NRW is controlled. For the customer service during MCO, meter reading from house to house was not done. This because we don't want our meter reader meet people to avoid COVID-19 infection. Most of the water operator have made estimated reading via billing system. So the meter reader came to the office and do the estimate meter reading job using their handheld mobile gadget. Then most of the water operator do not send bill. The estimated reading was done for billing system only, not to charge the consumer. Next. Next. Okay, customer service. Service counter. The service counter was closed. All the transaction was discontinued. The counter clerk instructed to stay at home with full paid. And but a direct line or complaint center was open as usual. There was an officer on duty to pick up the call, receive the complaint, and channel to the related officer. Bill online payment facilities is provided. Consumer can refer to the operator portal to know what pay online facility available. Okay, next. Okay. Consumer who have water supply disconnected due to the unpaid bill before MCO, they need to make online payment before the water supply being resumed. And online bill can review via portal MS available. Okay, next. Okay, some water operator restarted meter reading by end of March while others start early April, May, and June. And most of the service counter we reopen on early May. Okay, next. Okay. Water bill related complaint. Most of the consumer came to the counter to check their bill and pay the water bill when we reopen our counter. But when we reopen our counter, many high billing complaint received. Domestic water bill increased 20% to 30%. Then explanation on the high bill was made through a portal, telephone, and counter service. Okay, next. Okay, why domestic water bill rise up? So during the MCO, school, colleges, and university were closed, so that all the students stay at home. So people going back to their hometown. Many people stay in one house. Next, next. So people take shower frequently because they want to keep our body clean. Then since many people in one house, so many clothes to wash, and also maybe the wife has more time, so the wife love to cook new recipes. Then next, then more dishes to wash. Husband like to wash car regularly because husband have more time at the home. Then they also clean the floor regularly to make sure their house is always clean. Next. Okay, watering of the flower every day. Then kids love to play with water, and last reason why the water bill rise up is because our water rate is very low, the very cheap tariff. So maybe people don't mind to use more water during MCO. Okay, next. Okay, what security measure that we taken during the MCO? Some of the officers working alternately on the schedule basis. Work instruction letter issues to the related staff who need to come to the office to work, and as stated in SOP, body temperature, hand sanitizer, QR code registration regularly done as what government said in SOP. The next. Okay, physical distancing also practice, and some of us work from home, and some of us make online meeting. Okay, next. Okay, moratorium. Okay, what moratorium we give to the consumer? Some water operator provide extra discount on the water bill for certain categories of user on top of existing discount given. Some water operator give adjustment due to the bill estimate exercise for the case where the estimated bill higher than actual consumption. There is also some water operator give free water for 3 months without bill. Installment payment also provided. Consumer can pay their bill 3 or more installment payment. Consumer must come to the water operator to apply for installment payment. Disconnection of water supply due to the unpaid bill has been postponed until September. Normally, water operator will disconnect the water supply if consumer don't pay their water bill. But during MCO, water supply will not disconnect due to the unpaid bill until September. Next. Okay, this is a very interesting data. Collection of water bill revenue. The revenue of collection decreased between 20 to 60% in the March. It will give a big impact of our financial position of water operator. But the The collection slowly increased by the following one, but not significant because commercial sector still closed or not fully operated. Next. So, since the slowdown of business activity will affect water operator financial, so my WEC hopes that Ministry and SPAN to do the detailed study on financial problem facing by the water operator. And also my WEC hopes that the government could consider stimulation package for water operator. And of course, my WEC willing to assist Ministry or SPAN to do this study. Next. Okay, special assignment during MCO. So during MCO, we provide water for frontliner on duty, and some water operator assist frontliner to carry out inspection activities. Next. Okay. Although we are facing financial difficulties, water operators still willing to contribute to COVID-19 fund. Okay, last. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, Encik Ishak. So we would like to invite our attendees to ask whatever questions that you have. We have received one Q&A at the moment. And Encik Ishak, you can press on the Q&A button at the bottom of the screen, then you can get question.
Yeah, I can see one question here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you can press on the button answer live so the audience can see the question.
Okay.
Can you see the question?
Wait, okay. How much for this? Okay, about the IT data, that some of the water operator they already have their own system for IT system. Then the work is run as usual. Then the COVID-19 do not affect much of our IT program. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Encik Ishak. So I guess we don't have any more other questions. How about Dato'? Is Dato' there? Dato' Kade? There's one more question.
Okay.
So the questions are coming now, Encik Ishak. So yeah, press on Q&A.
Okay, I will answer this live. Okay. If there is a second MCO, should the water operator stop the meter reading or should they continue? Actually, this during the first MCO, we stopped our meter reader to read home meter because we don't want our meter reader infected by the COVID. But if there is a second MCO, then we will see, and our board, of course, will discuss the situation, and we'll make decision later. Okay, thank you. Then does all technical operator gone through? Okay, this one.
Okay, press answer live so the audience can see the question.
Okay.
That's all technical operators.
Okay, does all operator have gone through COVID-19 testing? I think from our record, none of us technical operator gone through the COVID-19 testing. Okay.
Okay, we have one question. Henny, you can put the question into Q&A. It's on the chat. There is one more question, Henny. Will current situation affect water expansion? I think you can put that in. Because some of our attendees, they have put the question onto the group chat instead of the Q&A.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. Jisha, you can now open the Q&A.
Okay.
Can see that question.
Okay. I can see one question. Will the current situation affect water expansion project? I think at this moment, our project, the pipeline or construction project or construction works, run as usually. There is no interruption.
So any more questions, attendees? Because right now, I don't see any more.
Maybe I can ask something, Ms. Sesha.
Yeah, Mr. Dato', please.
Okay. With all this lesson learned, is there an effort now to do a standard operating procedure that can be practiced by all water operators while we're still having this pandemic in the operating of all the treatment plants?
Yes, as I said in my slide, that all our water treatment plant run as well, but of course we need to follow the SOP from the government, such as hand sanitizer, body temperature, and record all the attendance, and physical distancing, and clean our treatment plant regularly. All the SOP was followed.
Okay. Maybe I can pose another question. As of today, I know it's not in the news. Is there any cases of the cluster that come from the water operators?
So far as you know, there was and there is no case or cluster from the water operator.
Okay, that's good. Any audience have any question? I have more, but I think let the other audience post their question to you.
Okay, so since go ahead.
I can relate that our water is yes very safe to be used.
Okay, there's one question, Jisha.
How do you ensure the water is clean? Okay. How do you ensure that water supply is clean of COVID? Because in normal practice, our water supply, clean water quality is being monitored by the MOH, where there is regular checking on the weather in our treatment plant and also in our pipe distribution. There is a regular checking from the MOH to make sure that our water quality is followed the guideline of MOH.
Okay. Any more questions? I don't see any more questions. So I think for attendees, oh yeah, well, one just popped in. Jisha, one question for you.
Okay. I will answer the live. How you make certain water quality parameter more stringent because of the reason pandemic? Actually, the parameter of the water qualities is drafted by the MOH. So at this moment, we don't receive any extra parameter from the MOH.
Okay, there's one more question.
Okay, the next one is okay. From Mr. Fauzi Abdul Rahman, water operators are struggling with the operating cost. Is there any possibility that the water tariff will be increased in the near future, near future, considering the economic and pandemic challenge? What is your view? Okay, for the information of Encik Muhammad Fauzi, water tariff is under the Ministry under the ministry. So it's not decided by water operator. Yeah, this is it will decide by the ministry with advice from the SPAN, and with agree with if the state agree, then we will implement. But if the state don't agree, we will not implement the new water tariff. Maybe Datuk Kadir can add up something about water tariff.
Okay, on water tariff, actually, in principle, I would say the government may have agreed. That's what I say during the break just now. It's about time that the government should put some awareness and education, what they call, program to let the public knows what is the components of the water tariff, so that they are aware of what they pay and what is the difference. So currently, our water operators are not paying or not enjoying the value of water, and there is various what we call, there are a lot of gaps in the water operator. What being said, the highest water rate is in Johor, but still Johor is not the true water rates. The true water rates is as yet be determined by applying the tariff setting mechanism, and this is where the government should play a role. While waiting for it to be revised, this tariff setting mechanism must be made known to the public so that they appreciate the value of water. So hopefully that's the next step that MWA and MIWAC have to put to the government to what they call elevate the or increase the awareness of the public on the true value of water. There is still a question there, I think.
Yeah.
Okay,
There
thank
are
you,
two
Datuk Kadir.
questions. There are 3 questions in J-chat.
Yeah. Can okay, this can our water supply sustain if MCO extended? How long can our water supply sustain during wise of the pandemic prolonged? Okay, this one actually it depends on the state. If I think, but I think the ministry and SPAN will do something about this. May I know what kind of okay? May I know what kind of tests have you used to ensure the clean water from COVID-19? I mean, the parameter used to measure COVID-19. For time being, there is no parameter to use to measure the COVID-19 in the water supply. Is the district engineer doing any representation to government to strongly fight for water tariff increase so as able for the future community if many more implementing emergency and water okay, as I said in my slide that this my work always rise up the problem that we face, including the water tariff problem. Long time ago, I think Ministry and SPAN know about it. Okay, how can we make sure all the water waste from the hospital treated safely before it goes out, or it just goes to the without treated? I think this one the right person is Datuk Kadir to answer.
Okay, this is a different subject matter. But wastewater generally from hospital, in terms of the waste per se, there has been a concessionaire who collect all the waste. But where the water is concerned, some hospital, they have their own treatment plant that treat waste. Others will discharge into this waste and that goes into allocated system of plant. And as of now, there is no real threat to the wastewater detected by RWK because it is safe enough according to the standards. So there has not been any incident, but nevertheless, we have to take precaution that we have to prevent this. This is good subject matters to our government to take extra precaution to prevent such incident of COVID that take place in the water system or wastewater system. So we bring it up to the relevant authorities on this subject matter, inshallah.
Okay, I will answer this question. Have water operators considered to adopt any new innovation and technology to improve the efficiency of water operation or to deal with operation? Okay, this one for the R&D, we will always open for the new technology and innovation, but of course, for the innovation energy, the cost is there. So and also to do R&D also the cost is there, but maybe for the ministry level and SPAN, they have the R&D program. Okay, Dinesh?
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've come to the end of the presentation. So special thanks to Isha for being with us today to share with us his experiences on the unique challenges of water operators during the MCO. Henny, what's our next slide? Okay, so next week at the same time, we will be welcoming Encik Sharisan Rosli, Senior Analysis from CIMB Research, who will be speaking to us on turning the tap on the water capex and water tariff. Turning the tap on the water capex angle and analysis on current prospects and future outlook. So next Tuesday, same time. Next, Henry. So do also note that the Malaysia International Convention will take place next year in August. And for all updates, you may follow us on our Facebook page. So we look forward to bring international and local speakers to the water industry next year. Next, Henry. Yeah, so for all our updates on our webinars, please follow us on our Facebook, and here you will also find the links to our YouTube channel, which has the videos of all our webinars, including today's webinar. Thanks. Okay, so thank you very much to the Malaysian Water Association for hosting today's webinar. Thank you, Dato' Kade. Thank you, Encik Isha, for being with us.
Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Tisha.
Thank you. And thank you to all our attendees joining us this afternoon on Zoom and on YouTube.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we will look forward to seeing you virtually again next Tuesday at 3 o'clock. Bye for now. Don't forget to check out our Facebook page for all updates. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Dr. Ade. Sorry for the technical interruption.
Yeah. Have a nice week ahead, everyone.
Yeah, bye.